It's getting even worse for Karma, and he's nowhere to be seen, and he's been issued even more bad news. Over the last day, of course, we have been keeping you up to date with regard to the survivors' legislation panel for the full national inquiry into the grooming gang cover-up, and we've said that 2 of those survivors have resigned. Now, we've got a fresh revelation and some breaking news. This is with regard to one of the potential chairs who is going to be heading up this inquiry. She has in fact pulled out of it due to not wanting to be a part of an inquiry cover-up into a cover-up. Yes, it's insane. Let's go through this. Let's break it all down. But as always guys, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. So this is what's been saying right now, as stated, some breaking news, and that's with regard to Annie Hudson. Now Annie Hudson is one of the potential chairs. She's completely withdrawn out of it this morning after extensive criticism of the handling of the inquiry. As this user has said, it's a stitch-up and everybody knows it. The victims are withdrawing. The chairs are withdrawing. No one wants to be a part of this cover-up. It's very much true. Let's go through what is being said with regard to this. And joining us now with some breaking news is our national reporter Charlie Peters. Well, Annie Hudson, the former social worker who was in line to be one of the prospective chairs for the grooming gang inquiry, has this morning removed herself from the process. Survivors on the panel have told GB News that they were informed this morning ahead of interviews with 2 of the candidates that one Annie Hudson was taking a step back and no longer wished to be involved, and they were told, "We understand that this was based on media reports. I am told that Jim Gamble, the former police officer, very senior Northern Irish police officer, performed very well. And I've heard positive responses from many of the survivors about what he had to say, particularly on his process, on the sort of level of evidence that he'd be willing to go to. But that means there's only now one prospective chair in the running." Last night, Jess Phillips, the safeguarding minister, said it was untrue that judges were not interested in the role. But so far, Annie Hudson and Jim Gamble were the only names announced, and one of them has now withdrawn, and she's gone because she thinks the report to the Inquirer is too discredited already. But we don't know the specific reasons, but we do know that what survivors have been told, as far as we understand, is that there were concerns that she had about media coverage in recent days. It does point obviously to the wider concerns that are being raised about this inquiry process. I'm hearing concerns from others who are still on the panel, and they're quitting in part, they say, because the scope of the inquiry they feel is being expanded. The Home Office say this is absolutely not true. It's not being watered down. But we do know that they have been asked on these panel discussions about whether it should look further. Who do you believe, the Home Office or the actual survivors on the Legion panel and now potential chairs? What they're trying to do, and we know, I said in the last video, they're trying to cover up a cover-up. Essentially, they're trying to broaden the scope so it doesn't affect badly on the Pakistanis. They don't want to make it about race nor religion because of the insiders in the Labour Party and who they sort of represent. I told you they are losing voters by the absolute bucket load, and the 4 million Muslim votes is very important to them. That's why they are dragging their heels, and that's why Keir Starmer is trying to facilitate another cover-up. And that means now that the only person that is left in the running is a Labour activist police officer. That's it. As stated, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. New senior political commentator Nigel Nelson. Shall we ask, do you think they are sabotaging the Inquirer at the grooming game? No, I don't. But I knew you would say that. I do think that Jess Phillips should be having a word with this, is the safeguarding minister. Yeah, the safeguarding minister with Fiona Goddard and Ellie Reynolds. I mean, their criticism appears to be that they don't like the people being considered for the chairmanship on the basis that they're coming from police or social, and they feel those organizations